We're going to get started, and we can get started with introductions left to right.
David Lavelle, Assistant Chief.
Vice Chair of the Board of Police Commissioner Annie Holt, at large.
Ryan Ferguson, Chairman of the Board of Police Commissioner, District 1.
Melissa Gardner, Commanding Officer for Downtown Services and 3rd Precinct.
Franklin Hayes, Deputy Chief.
Charles Fitzgerald, Assistant Chief.
Tiffany Stewart, Deputy Chief. Deshaun Sims, Deputy Chief.
All right, again, good afternoon. We're here to provide an update on the shooting that happened last night in the area of Washington and Michigan Avenue near the Westin Hotel. There were 4 victims, all males between the ages of 20 and 30 years old. They all suffered non-life-threatening injuries. At this stage in a preliminary investigation, and again, this is subject to change because the investigation is active, we know that we have 2 groups that were having some type of conflict with each other, who have met up earlier in the night at another location, which we're not going to disclose at this point. We're working on getting some search warrants up to get some video from that location. But they met up at a previous location, had some type of conflict, moved from that location at separate times to the secondary location where the incident occurred. We also believe that the vehicle in question that you're going to see here in a moment was waiting for the victims to arrive several minutes prior to their arrival and parking across the street. Let me say that this incident is directly attributed to the conflict that they are having with each other. It has nothing to do with the hotel, no visitors at the hotel, no businesses located in the hotel, and not the hotel itself. We had a strong police presence last night. We continue to have a strong presence in this area. In fact, the officers were there, heard the shots, and was in that area, so close, in fact, that they ended up conveying at least 3 of the victims to the hospital after they were shot. They also applied tourniquets to the victims, likely saving at least one of the victims' lives by providing that tourniquet and getting them to the hospital. I want to make sure that I thank those officers for their hard work. This shooting is another example of just the senseless violence. Senseless violence all over the country, all over the city, fighting arguments that are ending in gunfire for no good reason. I will say that is my area that I live in. I heard the commotion early this morning before getting the notification. We don't want a drive-by shooting to happen anywhere in the city. Certainly we don't want our neighborhoods targeted. But if someone chooses to do a drive-by shooting in that area, I am confident we're going to make an arrest. That area is filled with cameras. So if there's any place that they wanted to do it, they're helping the police and making a decision to do it there, because we're going to pull every asset that we have together, and we're going to be deploying, making sure that we get this violent felon off the street before they hurt anyone else. With that, we're going to roll some video here, and you're going to see a couple of scenes. Again, the officers immediately assessed the situation, saw that we had 4 victims, and began administering first aid. Could not be prouder of them. That is what our officers do. They immediately flip into that life-saving mode and get folks help, and that's something that should not go unnoticed. But with that, let's move to the video, and to provide you some background, you're going to see the suspect vehicle, and you're also going to see the victim's vehicle as it pulls up, and this is, in fact, the victim's. I believe this is the victim's vehicle. We have an angle on the suspect's vehicle, a secondary angle. And as you can see, the scout car's right there. They're right on the corner after the incident happens, on patrol. And they actually heard the shots. I'm going to go back to that last frame, and this is what we're working with. If you can stop it at that vehicle. So that's, as you can see, that vehicle's moving pretty fast, and that's what we're working with. Good news is there are a lot of camera assets and other opportunities to identify that vehicle in that area and their pathway, and that's what we're working through now with our detectives to see the path of escape and to track that path of escape and identify that vehicle. But if anyone in the community knows who that is, we're asking that they assist us. If anyone saw that plate, saw that vehicle leaving the area around midnight this morning, we would ask that you notify the Detroit Police Department and give us the information that you have. If anyone knows the suspect, please contact us. We will be relentless in our pursuit of this suspect. We've got our detectives working right now and are on the ground, and we will not stop until we get this person in custody before they strike again. Plain and simple. So with that, we will take any questions.
Chief, Grant Herbst from Channel 4. Are the 4 victims in this cooperating with the investigation right now? And then we were told there was a 5th person who was in that SUV who then ran away. Have they been found yet?
Well, we're looking at that. I heard that. I don't know where you got your information, but I've heard that. We haven't confirmed it. As far as cooperation, a couple of them in surgery. They're severely injured, but they're expected to live, but they're still severely injured. So I don't know about the level of cooperation. We're talking to everybody, witnesses, and also, we recovered a number of weapons from the victims' vehicles as well. One of the victims is a Detroiter. The other 3 are from outside the city, and we recovered, I believe, 3 or 4.
3 weapons.
3 weapons from that vehicle, from the victim's vehicle.
Thank you.
Hi, Chief. Whitney Burney from Channel 7. Just a couple quick questions. Is there any idea how many shots were fired? Obviously, there were multiple that could be seen in the victim's vehicle.
Yeah, we don't know the answer to that yet. We've got, people shot multiple times, but we don't know if they're through and through. There's some things that we're looking into. We're not prepared to give that answer yet, but we know there was multiple shots fired.
Okay. Second question is, downtown has obviously been known as a pretty safe space over the last several years, but now we've had a couple of different shootings. Is there any concern about the optics of that and people being concerned about their safety now in downtown Detroit?
Yeah, I mean, the optics or downtown, I mean, I'm concerned about the whole city. But as I indicated, that's my neighborhood. I live down the street from the incident occurring, and I want to be safe too. This is an unusual area for something like that to happen in. But again, I mean, I'm very disappointed that happened. But if it was going to happen anywhere, it happened at a place that gives me a higher level of confidence of being able to close the case because of all of the cameras and opportunities to find out who the suspect is in that area in and around downtown. Downtown's pretty lit up with cameras, and business owners and a number of other folks that have them, property owners. And they're all cooperating with us, so we're going to be able to get what we need to close this case. I still think downtown is very safe, and I look at the data every single day, and when you look at the data, you see crime all over the city, And, you know, that's always a concern, and we want to reduce crime. And, you know, we've managed to do that, but it's not good enough when you have things like this happening. So I still think downtown is safe. I'm not moving. And, you know, but this is a sad situation and unfortunate situation, and a situation where people are using guns to solve simple disputes. Everybody's got a gun. And, you know, we're going to do what we can to constitutionally get them off the street, because if you don't, you have situations like this with no regard for anyone in the community, or someone could get hurt that doesn't have anything to do with the incident that happened there. So it's got my full attention, my focus, and constitutionally, we're going to get these illegal weapons off the street and these people who carry them.
And then just for clarity, do you guys believe that the victims were staying at the hotel, or that was just a completely random location?
I believe it was random. We know right now where they were prior to this. Again, I want to make sure we get our search warrants executed before I talk too much. But I think they just happened to stop there, and that's when this transpired, unfortunately.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.